than that. And the first thing that Jesus said in relation to the last days, it's very, very important to remember this. Not earthquakes, famines, wars, all those things. See to it that no one misleads you, deceives you. So what is the number one characteristic of the last days? Deception. Spiritual deception. He often spoke about that. At the end of the Sermon on the Mount, he said, beware of false prophets. He said, you got to distinguish between the true prophets and the false prophets. And he said, by their fruit you will know them. By their fruit, not by their gifts. Look at the character of their lives. And so the first thing he says in relation to the last days is, see to it that no one deceives you. Okay? Keep that in mind. Because many, not one or two, verse 5, will come in my name, saying I am the Christ, and will mislead many. Now, there are two ways you can read verse 5. One is, somebody will come up and say, I am Jesus Christ. How many of you will be deceived if a man stands up here and says, I am Jesus Christ? I think even the little Sunday school children will not be deceived. So I wonder if that is what he meant. Read the sentence like this. Many will come and say, I am the Christ, means that Jesus is the Christ. Not referring to the people, but to Jesus. You follow? Many will come saying that Jesus is the Christ, and then they will mislead you. That sounds more possible, but because they put an inverted comma there, which is not in the original Greek, we think that it is a statement they're making. But I think what Jesus was saying is, many will come saying that I am the Christ. That Jesus is the Messiah. You see, because the great conflict, Christ is a word which means Messiah, anointed one. And all Jewish people were waiting for the Messiah to come. Everybody. The only thing is when Jesus came, they didn't believe he was the Messiah. And that's what brought the division between all the Jews, most of them, and the few like Peter and the disciples and 500 believers who believed that he was the Messiah. When Jesus asked Peter, who do you say that I am? What Peter replied, thou art the Christ. You are the Messiah, which we've been waiting for so many hundreds of years. Oh, Jesus said, flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you. So what he's saying is, in the midst of this vast nation where most people say he is not the Messiah, then of course you know, if somebody comes, Jesus is not the Messiah, you know that guy is a false teacher. You won't be deceived by him. But there are some people who will come and say, Jesus is the Messiah. Oh, then he's a Christian. He's one of us. That's the guy who's going to mislead you. You got it? Okay. So many will come in my name saying that he is the Messiah, and then they will mislead many. So the point is that when somebody wants to deceive you, he's not going to come with a Quran or a Gita or something. He's going to come with the Bible. And he's going to say, Jesus is the Messiah. And then all your defenses are down. Say, let me listen. This guy is one of us. That's the guy who's going to mislead you in the last days. Please remember that, not one or two, but many. So we don't have to be afraid of leaders of other religions trying to lead us astray. It's the fellow who's going to come like a wolf in a lamb's clothing. A wolf, is only interested in getting something from the lamb. What do you think? If a wolf wears a lamb's clothing and comes into the fold, what do you think he's interested in? You think he's come to bless the sheep? What's a wolf interested in? Biting something off from the lambs. And any preacher who uses the right doctrine, but his aim is to bite off something, usually money, from the people who are there, to me, that's a wolf. So be careful, and there'll be many in the last days like that. And then it's after